Hello, hey, good evening, you guys. I am Tara. So I came to bring a video. It's gonna be small, poquito. I have my grandbaby, so I'll do a longer one after she leaves. So she's with me right now. But I did want to mention let's see, 3 days ago, I did a reading. I don't remember the name of the reading, but I did look at that. It was 3 days ago. And everything on there has come to pass, literally. I don't know what type of cycles we're in, but there's one reader I've been watching, and I've never watched her. So I went all the way back to watch everything I could possibly watch from the beginning with her. And she's amazing. Absolutely amazing. You go, girl. You go, girl. You are the truth. I love your readings. And that to be said, everything that has gone on past 3 days really has come to pass. People are projecting really bad. That's all I can say. Like, projection is real, projection is bad. Um, the abuse, the blame, the wanting you to be at fault for their misfaults, their mishaps. Stuck in stagnant energy truly was part of the reading I remember saying. Um, whew, it's a lot going on. Oh, Father, it's a lot. And I ask you, true love, as I split the deck, your wholesomeness and safety lie within, not from a partner, but from sovereignty. Um, Let me pray. Father, I ask you to guide me, to coach me as I do this reading. Any negative energy that's trying to intervene in my reading, I ask you to remove it. I ask you to keep me stable, mind, body, and spirit. And I thank you, Father, always. Thank you. Everything that's been going on, it's a hot mess. That's all I can say. It's just a hot mess right now. I don't know if some people think I'm not a genie. I'm I'm not a genie. Um, it took a lot of self-sufficiency for me to get to the place that I'm at now, but I'm not a genie in a bottle. If I tell you I have your best interest at heart, that's just what it is. I have your best interest at heart. But if I tell you to pray and work on yourself, do that, because I can only give you advice. I cannot maneuver the mind. That is consciously for you to do as an individual. Oh, these braids have irritated the whole side of my face. I'm allergic to this hair. Mm. Um, Itching. That's why I said that. It's just a lot going on. And threes. So the other day I saw a lot of twos. I noticed my reading had threes, a lot of threes on it. To me, the threes represent the Holy Trinity. I'm not an odd number type person, but when I do see the threes, that's the first thing I tend to think of. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Um, it's confusing energy, because right now I feel kind of baffled and confused. So the energy that's being projected is very confusing energy, and there should be no confusion. Solitude. Yeah, and that's just what I was telling the person. Some people just need to go inner, and embrace their own divinity and solitude. At the end of the day, that's just what it is. The right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule without forcing or chasing. And change. It's going to have to be a change. Don't scare yourself with the next 40 steps. Oh, wow. Don't scare yourself with the next 40 steps. So, speaking on what I was saying, that's an inside job. It's definitely an inside job. Money is here. So we have solitude, change, and money. All of my finances are now in divine order. Love itself knows my needs is the source for all. I needn't cling to gain nor fear loss. Every need will be met through offering all to the divine. Exactly. So, and patience is at the bottom of the deck. That being said, I'm going to take this one. That'll be my fourth one. The advice that I gave the particular person is solitude, change, and patience. And it's going to need calmness. Gratitude, I see it in reverse. Gratitude is in reverse. I see truth under that. You can't help everybody with everything or through everything. And at the end of the day, that's something I do realize. I can only give you a piece of advice. The projections, that won't fall on me. That will not fall on me. I will not take that. It's not for me. It doesn't belong to me. I saw the blue flame. Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. That falls under solitude. So that's what some are needing to do. I don't know what moon cycle we're in. Golden children falls under change. I keep getting this card. Inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Okay, the other day I kept saying the word harmony a lot. Harmony, harmony. You may bring someone harmony or some form of balance. Tenderness is here today. This card has tenderness and rest. The golden child has inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. That falls under change. Someone sees you as just that, a tenderness, but that's also making someone bitter. They see your innocence. They do. Maybe you need to take nourishment and body care. Rest. I've rested long enough. I've rested long enough. So there's something definitely going on. Moon cycles. This may have a lot to do with moon cycles. What do we have for money? Why's money here? Seeds of Mintaka. Seeing potential. Bringing consciousness to light. Bringing consciousness to light. And that's just what I was saying the other day. I reflect a lot of things in people that they don't want to see in themselves. And that's what I see when I see this card. Consciousness has been brought to light in some. Either some going to accept it and some aren't. They're not. But that's not going to force you out of who you are to change for anyone. It's do or don't. Their unwillingness to change would not be the downfall of you. You've gone through your solitude. You've embraced your era. You've embraced this change. And maybe that's why money is here. It's been embraced. Patience is here. Be patient. Ooh. You have a double mission. You do. You have a double mission. Portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Reward. Wild card. Reward. Money. You will be bringing consciousness to light. You have done that. You have been doing that. But people, double mission, starseed, light worker, serve the world by being you. So when you started carrying on this energy on your journey, serving the world by being you, that became a full-blown problem. It's a problem. It's a problem because sometimes I believe people think that you really are a genie in a bottle. If you just rub or touch them the right way, all their problems fall away. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to work on yourself. You have to work on your own problems. You cannot go through life blaming called. You cannot go through life blaming others for what you didn't do, for what you did not do. Victim, playing the victim. So I even had to learn that myself to speak on something. I said I was going to start speaking a little bit about my journey and what brought me here. It's relevant, very. Um, so when I went through my divorce, there was a lot of things that I had to learn to understand. I didn't even realize what I was doing to myself. Victim mode was a part of it. And I don't want to say it like that, but when you've been told, oh, I don't want my wife to work. Oh, no, I don't want my wife to work. My wife doesn't need to work. And the wife wanted to go to school, and the wife wanted to work, and the wife wanted to do a lot of things because wife was kind of like a soccer mom. And I was the one that did everything for the children, never missed a beat, never. School, projects, anything, sports, that was me, front and center. Parent teacher conferences, front and center. So when everything, star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper. Here's some of the secrets now, speaking on. Hi. So when everything went in a disarray, I literally had to start all over with 3 children. 2 of them were on their way out of high school. One was very small. And I would say, well, how am I going to do this now? How am I going to do this? Because I was under the impression, marriage, you stay married and you don't divorce, and no matter what, you'll get through it and just do it, just push through it, because that was what my elders always spoke on, back then. Families didn't believe in divorce, and like grandparents and great grandparents, and through that era, they didn't believe in divorce. You get married, you stay married through hell or high water, through thick and thin, to death do you part, and that was really meant, and it was taken. I looked at it a little different. You we're not on the same accord, and we've kind of tilted some scales. It's time to walk, because when one out of the two isn't happy, or 2 out of the 2 isn't happy, what's the need in staying in someone's life and continuously making them miserable? You're going to make yourself miserable. Either you're going to make yourself really, really miserable. That's going to be number one. You're going to do that. Or you're going to have health problems behind the misery. So something's got to give. I found myself to be more important. So I said, let this go. It's not going to work. So that was what I did. That being said, the victim part came in with starting over. How do I do this? How do I start over? When you got to remember that everything was pulled and taken away, and I have children. So I have to start from the bottom up. That was hard, especially with not having family there. It was just me. And I was trying to start my own business from home, and it was a very, very, very hard journey. That's why I speak on the things that I speak on. Because through that journey and going through everything that I went through, every day, I would have to still wake up, feed the kids, get the kids off to school. At this point, by now, I've found work, going back to work. So my life is building. Slow blocks, but building. Okay. Then you get through the next level. Okay. I've always known what I wanted to do. Even before I went through the divorce, my goal was to be a therapist, a mentor. I love working with teenagers and uh, children. They're fun. They're so funny. I love kids. For them to understand that once they get a certain age, young ladies, young men, it's okay to just be you. It's okay to just be you. I spoke on that on the video the other day. It doesn't really matter. I always try to encourage my children, no matter what you want to do, no matter what. I would always support you. Now, certain things I'm just not going to know. No, no, no. And I don't think that needs to be actually said. But if you're going for a career goal or school to better yourself, whatever it is, just be the best at it. Be the best at it. I wanted to always speak life into younger people so they wouldn't grow up to be rotten apples. You catch them while they're young. You get them while they're young. And they can understand so much. They're like sponges. Give them the right information around it. I knew that was my calling. I knew that was my gift. Big picture thinking, Pilates energy, visionary, inspired ideas. That was my idea. That was what I would have visions about. Is to see the little children draw something for me. Like when I worked with small children, draw something, write something for me. Let me see what you got. And through that, you can show them how creative they are. They will understand, oh, well, I can do this. I didn't think I could draw. I can do that. I didn't think I could read. I didn't, it's so much you can do. So when I hear people say, oh, don't play victim and you played the victim and you, it's sometimes it's not about playing victim. And when a person is going through a grieving process, there are steps to grief. And you must go through a grieving process properly to come out still level headed. You must do it the right way. It must be done correctly. There's no rush. There's no rushing into it. There's no, oh, we're going to do this and rush through the process and then everything's over. No, it doesn't go that way. And that's what people fail to forget. Inner Earth, you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. And that's what people always fail to forget, which pushes people in a mind frame of anger, animosity, grieving more, not understanding themselves because they didn't take the time to go really through the portal for the change, for the big picture thinking. They didn't water their garden. They put the sprinkler on it. It didn't get to the root of the grass or the root of the flowers to water the garden. Some of us really are on double missions. We are. You work here on earth and you also work in the spiritual realm. There's a double mission there. And you have to learn to balance the two. That's where a lot of readers come in. Especially when you're a very spiritual reader and your knowledge is really heightened. A lot can be explained through that. Some readers are different. But you definitely have a double mission. And that comes along with solitude. Yes, baby Case.
Can I get some cereal?
Give me just a minute and I'll pour it for you, okay? All right. Solitude definitely comes with double mission. It seems as though that's just where she is, in solitude. Rest. She has a duty. She must be of sign, mind, body, spirit. Soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. So that's why she must be in sound mind and body. There can be no implications here. There can be no projections being thrown or being done for the reason that they are called. For that reason. For that exact reason. They're called for a purpose. They're called for a purpose. And these are golden children. They're golden children. They're divinely protected. My mom used to always say, if it don't get you in a wash, it'll get you in a rinse. Ambition. If it don't get you in the wash, it's going to get you in the rinse. Because anyone that's out here projecting on others, negatively, that's negative, so negative. And it's not that person's energy to carry. So, of course, they're going to have a negative reaction to it. Oh, they're going to have one. The person that's being projected on is going to have a negative reaction to what's been done. Let me see, I'm going to pull one. So maybe, well, not maybe, trickery. Trickery is here. Yep. So that's just what I was saying with people projecting, wanting to manipulate you and your energy to make you think, oh, well, I didn't do that. I didn't say that. That was you. You did that. You said that. But this is what I meant when I said it. No, that was not what you meant when you said that, because this is exactly what you said. A, B, C, D. So how did you mean anything different? Own up to it. Own up to it. Own up to it. Stand on it. The soul. The soul depends on that. It does. Your soul depends on that truth. Surely does. Hedgehog is here. Someone is feeling real prickly with you. Oh, yeah. Their quills are out. The subconscious is here. That's because you know. Someone is feeling really prickly with you. The quills are out. But the subconscious is out also. Someone knows. They know. It's a person that has a double mission, which are the earth angels. The earth angels. People get it so misconstrued sometimes. I told someone today, I say, have you ever heard the saying? Be nice to people. You never know when you're entertaining an angel. You ever heard that? They say, yeah, I heard it. Well, you never know. They say, what are you, an angel of a warrior? I don't know. But yeah, yeah. Endurance. And the future is here. Perspective. Perspective is here. Perspective is here because nobody looks at you that way. Nobody looks at you for the role that you're put here to carry. Nobody looks at you for the role that you're placed here to do. No. Not you. No. No way. No way. All you do is talk crap. All you do is say, well, yeah, I do. I do. But it's all in fun when I do it. But that doesn't mean I'm not here for a certain purpose. That doesn't mean I wasn't born this way. As we grow, we lose sight of a lot of things that we were called to do from the time we hit this earth. We go into life. Life starts. And once life starts, you're out in this world with other people that are trickling down on you energy. And being a child, you really don't know any different. You just know to live and just run, play, walk, go through life. As you become a young adult, teenager, You may be awakened to some things to understand some of the things that you see. We have solitude here twice. I have it again. Solitude is here twice. As a teenager, you're gonna go through some things, and you may get it, you may not. Especially if you're of the world and you're out here hanging out, kicking it, and doing worldly things like I did. And then you get to be a young adult, you hit some awakenings and you understand, then you shut it off. Because a lot of times that's what we do. We don't understand the teacup. We don't understand what a double mission or being called is, or even a golden child, because you were considered the black sheep, not a golden child. You weren't considered a golden child. You were considered a black sheep. Nobody ever said you were called. Nobody ever let you understand to see those gifts. That was shunned upon. It was shunned upon. So a lot of your gifts were pushed down and smothered and suffocated. They were. They were. So as an adult, say you have children now and you're the pond. Say you have children now and you're going through life and you're going through some more awakenings. Now you understand, like, okay, this was what this was. This was why this happened. This is the reason that this went on. Okay. I have something else I'm supposed to be doing. Really, really doing. Went into prayer. And I asked the Holy Spirit to show me, what am I supposed to be doing? The book is here. Guide. You're supposed to guide. You have a double mission. Your assignment has come from the book, but not just the book, because you are an earth angel. Oh, earth angel, light worker, starseed. It comes from outer worlds. It definitely comes from outer worlds. It's a higher knowing. The average person would probably look at this lady and say, where is she going? She's about to run, jump off that. It's a little cliff. It's nothing there. It's just a doorway entrance looking, but it's nothing there once she leaps. She's open. She said, I'll take that chance. I'm open. I'm open. But my openness is not going to let me fall. I won't hit rock bottom. Never that. And if I did hit rock bottom, it was before I knew who I was called to be. And it's okay if you've hit rock bottom. That's how you have a testimony. Because if you haven't hit rock bottom, you have nothing to tell anyone about. And I always say that. It must be I don't want to say story. It must be a testimony. It has to be a testimony. If you're going to do this type of work, there has to be a testimony. Because anything that you're not proud of, wasn't proud of, ashamed of, it has to be laid to rest. You have to be at peace with that and okay with self. So when people wonder, how did I get through it? Oh, how did you make it through that? How did you get through it? A lot of people really just don't understand. I have people ask me that a lot. A lot. Especially people that knew me way back when. And knew what I went through. The ones that I still may speak to. Some of them not at all. Yeah, I'm sure they do wonder certain things. Or how has her life changed this way? Because she went through so much. Yeah, I did. But that me going through so much only like pumped it up. It pumped me up more because I couldn't break. I had children that needed me. I had loved ones that still needed me. I could not break because there was a calling on my life. It was. So I wasn't going to break. And that wasn't of my doing at all. It had nothing to do with me. I just knew I didn't want to give up. And once I knew that I did not want to give up, that's where the Most High showed up. Yeah. And I knew then that everything that had gone on around me and what I no longer wanted my children to see, it was time. It was time. I had two girls. That wasn't a representation of what I wanted them to see. And having a son, because I always told him, you catch that door before I get there, or before a woman gets there. You open that door. I started him out early age. Open the doors for women. Closing the door. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you. They started early. So I didn't want to see myself in a continuing cycle of something I didn't want my own children to go through once they got to a certain age in life. So when I hear people say, oh, don't divorce, don't do that, to each his own. To each his own. Hey, to each his own. I'm not here to knock nobody for nothing. But what I am going to say is, that's the point I got to, and that's what I chose for me, is to not stay in something so unbalanced. I figured it would help to leave the situation more so than staying in one. It would hurt it. The cards that I pulled today is going to be your money maker. It's going to be your money maker. Solitude, you going through this solitude, and God knows you did it for a long, long time. You went through solitude where there was no one around, not even the children. Being that you went through all of this solitude, you have a double mission, you're called. That will be part of your making money. And all the ones that thought it was funny, it was just comical. Oh, that's not who she is. No, it's not. At that point, you would have no point to even prove. And you don't now. It's just it will be designed and set up to be seen. When people think they have gotten away with things, if it don't get you in the wash, it's going to get you in the rinse. So at the end of the day, that's why we say just be kind to people. Be kind to others. It's really, I mean, just be kind to people as much as possible. I see fulfillment here and the guardian here. You're going to be just fine. Yes, you are. But it goes to show how energy really maneuvers and works. The Hermit is here. How energy maneuvers and works, and projections, and how people want you to carry their shit. I'm not here for that. I'm not here to carry nobody's shit and crap. I'm not. You give somebody an inch, they take a mile. I'm gonna pull from the tarot. Yeah. Disappointment. They either want you to be in disappointment Or people are disappointed though. They're in disappointment as we speak. People are in disappointment. This is the energy they are in. They wanted you in disappointment, but people are in disappointment because you wouldn't carry their baggage. Because you wouldn't carry their baggage. Now they're in disappointment, or they're in this phase because they're disappointed. They're sitting in hermit mode. It's not your duty. It's not your task. It's not your problem. You can help people, but only a certain amount. And I've learned that. I can't help everybody. I always say that. And everybody is not for me to help. Not. I don't know how to take it. It came out in reverse. It did. Actually, it was in reverse. There's negativity. Negativity. An inventor in reverse. So someone needs to invent. It's the man of crystals. Someone needs to get themselves together, pick yourself up by your bootstrings, and come out of this disappointment. Someone's in disappointment and negativity. An inventor in reverse. So they're not being too creative. They're not inventing too many things. I have the strength card in reverse. Someone's disappointed. Why is disappointment here with strength card? The star. The hermit and the star. Strength, star. I see narrowness. I'm going to pull it out because it's the only one that actually flipped over in the whole deck. Narrowness falls under negativity. Just what I was saying. Someone is negative, narrow-minded, disappointed, all the above. And they cannot invent. They're not the inventor right now. No, they're not. And they won't be the inventor because of the energy that they are in. It is dark. It's a lot of blue and it's a lot of black. The sun is in reverse. And it falls under the inventor. Now, if I turn it this way, it's upright. But it came out to me in reverse. With the inventor. Someone's not so happy right now. They can't invent. They can't concoct their shit. They sitting in hermit mode. They got plenty of thoughts, so they're thinking. They're thinking and thinking. They are thinking. They're trying to figure out how. Confusion. It's upright. Confusion. Someone is confused. They're trying to figure out why they can't invent. They're trying to figure out why their sun is not blooming, why their sun is not out, why it's being pushed back behind clouds. They're trying to figure out why my sun is not, why my sunshine is gone. Yeah, that's what they're trying to see. Why is my sunshine has gone? No more rain in this cloud. Confusion. Somebody is disappointed too. Yep. Confusion is here. Got the high priestess here. And devil's play falls under negativity and narrowness. She's bringing the confusion. Seem like the way these cards have lined up. Oh, wow. She is the confusing part because over her falls the hermit and the star. But next to her falls confusion. She's bringing confusion, maybe. Someone is bringing confusion. There's devil's play here. The high priestess didn't fall out in reverse. She fell out upright. But confusion is around her, and devil's play is around her. She's in the center of confusion and devil's play. balance. Someone needs balance. And that's just what I was saying from the first reading. Someone has got to pull themselves up by their bootstrings. They have no balance. Basically, they're probably just all stemming out of control. Oh, while the cards flew out my hand. Someone is spinning out of control. Someone is out. Got fear, the regenerator. There you go. Anger fell on top of the inventor in reverse. Someone is spiraling out of control. They're not a regenerator at this point, and they're really not in fear either. Doesn't seem like it. Someone's not in fear. Regenerator is in reverse. There's no fear. Fear in reverse falls under the High Priestess. What do we have for Devil's Play and narrowness and negativity? I always get her upright. I always get her upright. She's in reverse. Someone is not protected either. No, they're not. I was mentioning earlier, I don't really keep up with the cycles of the moon. I can just kind of feel the energy, but I don't really keep up with what does what. But right now, someone's in a lot of negative energy. Negativity, narrowness, Devil's Plate, and the Guardian in reverse. Someone's not protected at all. And there's dullness here. Yeah, the sunshine is gone. And someone is angered. And they can't reinvent. So, dullness is here. They're out of balance. And they know they have put themselves out of balance. Time and space is here. So now we're on God's time. We're on divine timing. Achiever. We are on divine timing. Why is the Achiever here with time and space? I see the Chariot. The Chariot. The Player. And my Trust card is in reverse today. The Player is here with Trust in reverse and time and space. Sometimes you don't need to say nothing. Just, yeah. Because the cards I usually get upright, they're not upright. Not today. And that has to do with what I was speaking on. But somebody knows. There's a censor here that knows. Censor. High Priestess. Star Hermit. There's a censor here that understands exactly what these cards are. Somebody is miserable and angered. Death in reverse. I don't mind saying it like this, really, because that, to me, that means something is ending. It's in reverse. They're not changing. Somebody's not changing. Not no time soon, don't look like. Trust that. They're angered. They are angered. They're angered. Huh? You have to take accountability for your own. I can only take accountability for me. Everybody has to carry their own weight. Seer. Seer was in reverse. Everybody has to carry their own weight. No. Their own weight. Hangman in reverse. Just what I'm saying. Someone's not changing. Synthesis is in reverse. Are my cards in reverse? No. No, they're not. All these things are in reverse. You have to bring a depth to some things and trust that. The Empress is here. Somebody's got to bring some death to things. Why is the Empress here with this reading? Because this is, I see the moon. Well, it's in reverse, but I see the moon. Why is the Empress here? The Empress came out with brilliance again. So maybe it's just what I'm speaking on. This is the one that's got some Sense. Some sense. And that's the censor. This is the censor. It's behind lovers. Someone is angry. Death in reverse. Synthesis in reverse. But the player card is upright. With all the... the knower popped out. So what I was about to say is, this is my confirmation to say it. Knower. You know. Someone is angry with you. Very angry and bitter. And they need strength. Their negative energy. The projections. The blaming. Not taking accountability for a lot of things. I see ecstasy here. The Magician. The Magician. Why is the Magician here? Because right now I'm trying to see if I need it. Okay. Somebody's got to have a tower. There it goes. Somebody's got to go through a tower. The Magician is in reverse. They'll turn into the Magician once they're kicked out. They've got to finish this tower. The tower has to be completed. The cycles have to be completed. Because how these fell. These are grouped. The Empress, Brilliance, Lovers, Knower, Ecstasy. Nothing over there in that little pile until these things are done. There's too much negative energy going on over here. There's too much going on with players and negativity, narrowness. They're all in one row. Negativity, narrowness, devil's play, woman of worlds, woman of crystals in reverse. I love her upright. She's in reverse. Hangman. But someone's not sticking around for it. Someone's moving. Someone is moving forward. They don't want to deal with this. They don't want to deal with this. They don't have time for magicians in reverse and people that don't want to make the wheel turn. Nobody has time for that. And damn sure don't have time for nobody sending negativity. We got enough of that just everyday life. Yeah. What do we have? What do we have? What do I need to see? What's it? Empress over here with a whole different little section. The universe is here. The universe is here due to you are someone's world. They look at you as that. You're someone's world. They want you in their universe. They've got to be magical. Someone's in oppression. Someone's in oppression, for sure. They're depressed, oppressed, depressed, and they're going through some learning experience and learning phases. They're learning. They're learning. They're probably learning and understanding that she's a rejoicer. They're learning. Someone's a learner. Logic. They're definitely a learner. Someone's trying to use logic. I saw the fortune card. Courage. They're trying to use logic. They're trying to be courageous. They are. They're trying to learn. They're trying to get some things together. Maybe they want to fight for something. Maybe they want to fight for it. What do we have? They're learning about some things. Logic is snapped into place. Yeah. I see the Two of Cups. It's in reverse. Somebody needs courage to go after that Two of Cups. They want it, but they got to do it. And I see change. They've got to make the change. And someone is a seeker. They're definitely seeking. They're seeking advice. They're seeking knowledge, learner, logic. They're seeking. They're seeking some things they don't understand. They're wanting to know. They want to know it. They want it, but they don't want it. They want it, but they don't want to make the change, but they want it. But they want it, but they don't want to change. Death has to be put to some things. They're in stagnation. They're definitely in stagnation. Commencement is in reverse. Ooh. Well. Look who hit the floor. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yep. That's what's going on with that. Somebody's got to make some changes to their whole life. To their whole, look at the bottom of the deck. To the whole life. Illumination. You have illuminated somebody. For sure. You done told them that projecting ain't going to work. That's not going to work. They know now. They know now. They know now. They did not have integrity. No. So it took you to tell them that and explain some things to them. But now they know. The projections will not be dealt with. There will be a death to some things. And they need to learn to be nurturing. Nurturing is here. Someone needs to learn nurturing and how to be skillful in life. Can't go through life that way. You cannot go through life without taking accountability for your own actions. All right, you guys. I'm going to stop this video and handle some things. I'll be back later with another video. Thank you so much.